Okay, I bought this. This isn't like a paid advertisement or anything for the Spectracide Weed Stop for Lawns. So I had sprayed it 2.5 days ago. Now this is one patch of crabgrass. I just sprayed it, didn't know what it was going to do because for the lack of any research, it mostly shows people that, the grass died, not the weed itself. So here's a patch. I didn't spray all of it, obviously. I got another weed popping up. I got the violets a little bit, and that's starting to curl on the little bit of overspray that it had. Just trying to get some of these weeds out. That's a dandelion right there. Here's another little piece of crabgrass. Throughout the lawn, it's got some weeds through it. Here's some other patches that I sprayed. I didn't spray it too heavy because, again, didn't want it to just totally kill the lawn, because obviously that's what everybody just shows. Now I do have some clover. The clover doesn't bother me. The crabgrass does, but not the clover. The clover's fine. Here's one crabgrass that I sprayed. I skipped that one because I didn't want to kill this whole section. And this is just in the backyard. Now here in the front, I have a lot of creeping Charlie. Don't know if you can see it with the shade. Sun. Let me try to give it some shade here. Some of it died. Some of it didn't. Again, I didn't want to spray too much, and then I just ended up with a huge dead patch. So it does kill it. I'll do another application. I'm not worried about it now, since it did work. Here's a patch I didn't really do. Here's some more crabgrass that I sprayed. It did die off. I had some other stuff in it too. Now here's some creeping Charlie by itself. I just sprayed it to see if it would work outside the lawn or in the lawn. That patch is dead. That patch is kind of struggling. So all in all, it's not bad. It might take a couple extra applications, but it does work. Why it kills other people's lawns, there might be something else going on there. I have some thin spots here because I had some fungus earlier with all the rain in July. I just tried to keep up with it, and it just, the fungus just goes after it, and I didn't get it in time. So, but that's 2.5 days after spraying. Not bad. Hopefully, if you're looking for something to try, it works. It worked for me. Might work for you. I just sprayed it enough to give it a light coating. I didn't douse it. Again, I was erring on the side of caution, since all the reviews you can get, most of them show that the lawn completely died. So I kind of went a little light on it. Could have probably gone a little bit heavier. There's a little bit more of the creeping Charlie that's kind of gone. That patch could use another spray, but I just went lightly. Hopefully this helps. I'll do a second application and probably add another part of this video to it, but it does work. It just takes a little bit of time. So hope this helps you if you're looking for something. Thank you. Alright, it's been 7 days since spraying the weed out for lawns. I haven't reapplied this yet, but it did kill off the crabgrass in these spots. Has some other spots along here. I have some that I have to respray. Had a couple of big clumps right here. That's 7 days since being sprayed. This is the spot that I had creeping Charlie, and again, this is 7 days since spraying. It is dead. Creeping Charlie. Don't know how well it's showing up. There are some sprouts of grass coming back in. But anytime I've removed creeping Charlie, either with a rake, pulling it out by hand, or spraying it like this, the grass always looks like this, so I am happy with it that it actually got it out. This is another spot over here that was mostly crabgrass and other weeds. Crabgrass is mostly gone. Did lose some of the grass, but again, if you look close, there is some grass perking up. So overall, I am kind of happy with it, even though it did kill off a chunk of the grass, but it's also fall. So I'm going to reseed anyways, but I'd rather get this. It's a loud truck. Rather get all the weeds out first as much as I can before trying to reseed. Alright, this is another spot. It's been 7 days, and this was mostly crabgrass through here. As you can see, the back parts were sprouts of it. The front part is the crabgrass that's a bright green and becomes a thick mat. Some spots could use a little bit of a respray, but for the most part, it got taken out. And then right here was thistle, as you can see by the leaf. This was thistle. Ouch. Still has the thorns, but it's dead since I can easily pull it apart. So it does go after creeping Charlie and thistle if you have it in your lawn. This spot I kind of call the hell strip anyways, because it's right next to the road, and in this case it's bordered by another garden, but it's just a thin strip. It's kind of like the strips that are between the road and a sidewalk. I just call them hell strips because they get so hot and beaten down by everybody walking on it and so on and so forth. Snow and all that stuff. So got most of it out, so when I go to rake, it'll at least be easier to take out, and the new seeds don't have to fight with the weeds. You know, again, I got some that over here I'd have to respray, but for the most part it got a lot of it, which I'm fine with. So on a big patch like this, I wasn't too sure if it was going to work, and it did, so I'm really happy with it, even if it takes a second application. I mean, this was a huge patch of it when you look at it, so not a bad product. I would recommend it. Just give it some time and maybe some re-applications, not just once. Alright, so this is some crabgrass that I sprayed. Some others have sprung up, which I didn't spray with the spray a couple of weeks later. I mean, it did kill what was there. I mean, obviously this is sprouting up because of the seeds and everything. I should have gotten to it sooner during the year, but you know, it did kill what was there. And then, you know, in a few other spots through the yard, you know, I killed some crabgrass. Some grew next to it, obviously the seeds again, if you want to say that. So you could be chasing it all the time. And as you can see, it's got some seed pods on it. I don't know how well it's coming up. So it did kill some of it. You know, here's another spot. Not only did it kill the crabgrass, it also killed the grass next to it. So I don't know how you feel about that, but also I'm going to be doing some overseeding soon, so I wanted to kind of get some of the crabgrass taken care of. Now here's the hell strips that I had the huge patch on. Again, some of it died. Over here I aerated, it got hot, and it didn't rain for a week, so some of this grass did die because I aerated and it just got dry. So I wouldn't blame that totally on the spray. But again, I got some crabgrass coming back again. Seeds from the other crabgrass that was originally here that got sprayed probably wasn't affected. You know, I could have put down a pre-emergent, but I don't believe in constantly pumping full of fertilizer. But this was a big patch of it. So some of it coming back up from the seeds is possible. Also, my neighbors, even across the road here, have a huge amounts of crabgrass, so I'm kind of fighting a huge battle as the wind blows and such. But it did kill the majority of the crabgrass that was here, so it does work. But maybe next year I could get to it as it comes up and kind of keep up with it. Now this is the patch that had all the creeping Charlie in it, which it didn't look that great when I showed it in the last clip. And again, I aerated and it got hot and dry. But the creeping Charlie didn't come back in this spot, so I'm kind of happy about that. So if you have creeping Charlie as a big problem, it works really well. Final thoughts. I can't say, oh yeah, this is great, this won't kill the lawn or anything like that. It did in spots, but again, the lawn has been stressed out with fungus anyways, so I might have pushed it over the edge. That might have been the case. Getting rid of creeping Charlie, you know, I've raked it out, I've pulled it out by hand, and the lawn always looks bad in the spot that you rip out the creeping Charlie, so I'm not going to say, oh, it's bad for that. It did kill it, so that's good. It got rid of the thistle in that one spot. So as long as you know that you're probably going to have to seed after, or if you have a lawn that is just full of weeds and you're just trying to get it under control, but you are going to overseed anyways, which I'm going to do, then I guess that's okay, depending on what you're doing. If you're expecting to spot treat and not have a dead spot in the lawn, I'm hesitant to say yes or no. Again, it might be just the time of year that I did it, or you know, the stress of the lawn that it was already in, who knows. But it does kill the weeds. Does it kill the lawn under? To some degree, yes. But again, if you're just trying to get things under control, it's not bad. Being a liquid form, it reacts a little bit faster than a granular form. I don't like the granular weed and feed, because I've put it down sometimes and the lawn either burns out or goes into full stress. So it's kind of, this to me isn't bad, especially just trying to get things under control before overseeding. And again, do this, you know, a couple of weeks before overseeding, or if you're watering or have irrigation, let it wash through at least a week. I'd say give it 2 or more, just so that this stuff washes out, so that when you go to plant seed, no residues there to prevent the seed from growing in that situation. So I don't know, I'm still kind of on the fence. See how it is next year. I might add other videos about this next year if there's like spot treating during the spring or something. You know, maybe it'll work better that way. I don't know, but it does work. It does get rid of the weeds. It just kind of puts the grass under a lot of stress. So, but it's kind of better than some of the reviews of either, oh, it worked, but they didn't say how well it worked, or if anything, or people just said, oh, it killed my grass. So hopefully this helps you make a decision.